One year for Christmas, I was given this extremely strange and unlicensed Pokemon, in quotation marks, book known only as Diary of a Wimpy Pikachu, except on the title page, when it's actually known as Pokemon Go, Diary of a Wimpy Pikachu. This is one of my favorite things that I own just because of how weird it is. I guess there's some kind of fun in owning something extremely bootlegged and unofficial that doesn't make any sense and was probably written by someone's bored mother to appease a crying child or something. Lately, I managed to get my very first microphone, and I think the best test of its abilities would be to share one of my favorite books of all time with you. You're welcome. I think the best example of what to come is just the back of the book, so let's start by reading that. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a Pokemon Pikachu? In this book, you will meet Pika, the little wimpy Pikachu who has caught by Ash the trainer. Would Pika adapt or react to the new change? Pikachu is really different from us? You'll be surprised at what you discover. So jump into this Pokemon Go adventure to find out! ! Diary of a Wimpy Pikachu is a must-read for any kid or adult who has never grown up, who loves Pokemon and Pokemon Go. My favorite part of the back of the book is how the back of the book is entirely non-applicable to both canon and book. Most of that never happens. So, let's read. And I'd just like to add before we get started, I don't condone buying this book. It's full of stolen fan art, and I don't think that should be encouraged. Thank you. In true Diary of a Wimpy Kid style, unlike everything else in this book, the chapters are named after days without any sort of numbering system behind them. So the first chapter is called Monday, and it says, Ash is all right, I guess. Like, we've been together for a while now. Ever since he trapped me in the weird ball prison, I have been forgiving. And then, over half of the page is blank, because they inserted a picture into MS Word and it skipped to the next page and they just didn't bother to correct that. The day he caught me, I was minding my own business, hanging out with Bulbasaur, Charmander, and the others, when all of a sudden, I was inside some kind of round cage. I tried to get out with a few shock zaps here and there, but the thing wouldn't budge, so I waited and waited. I just miss my friends. It's very depressing. But something cool happened today. I saw Squirtle. I haven't seen him forever. At least it had felt like that. Ash had let me stretch my legs and grab a couple of berries for a snack, and naturally, I wandered off a bit. Sudden rustling behind me was immediately followed by a streak of sky blue and green. We all know that classic green Squirtle. Is he shiny? That'd be cool. Pika? I was super nervous. I had not seen any other wild Pokemon in forever, and knew Ash didn't move that fast. Pika? I moved a little closer to where the sounds and colors came from. A few streaks of lightning snaked from my toes. Squirtle? The colorful streak was suddenly there again, and then knocked me over. Hey dude, I haven't seen you in so long. The whole crew has been asking for you, even Charmander, and you know he's a hothead most of the time. I like how within the first 3 pages, the Pokemon have gone from saying their names to fully formed sentences. From what I remember, it doesn't stay consistent. It's fine. Squirtle crawled off me, popping back onto his feet and smiling. He was always the nicest out of my friends. He wasn't as sunny as Bulbasaur, but he was cool. Sometimes a little too wet for my liking, though. I jumped to return his hug and seemed to shock him a bit. I have missed you, Squirt. I have so much to tell you. Where are the rest of the guys? Have you been caught? What are you doing this far away from home? He seemed confused. I could tell by the way his tail twitched. Pikachu, we all got caught. Some girl trapped me in one of those Pokeballs and she's not too far away. You got caught by that guy, right? He nodded behind me toward a rustling I hadn't noticed. Ash was looking for me. I could hear him calling me now. Yeah. I looked down and shuffled my paws. My yellow toes dug into the wet dirt. I really missed this when I was in the Pokeball, which is where Ash keeps Pikachu. Yep. You should talk to him. They call themselves trainers, and the whole weird Pokeball cage thing is just so we're nearby. My trainer allows me to just hang out with her. I haven't been in my cage for a while now. No, it isn't lost on me that Squirtle just told Pikachu that he should talk using words to his trainer. Again, yep, that's correct. Good job. All of a sudden, Squirtle perked up. He looked behind him and laughed, turning back toward me. I gotta go, but I saw Bulbasaur a little while back and you could run into Charmander. Most of our friends are with trainers now. But I would look out because a few of our bullies are too. I'll see you around. And this is my favorite paragraph in the entire book. And I really appreciate that it comes this early because I think it's beautiful. It's a work of art, really. You ready? Squirtle squeaked and waddled away into some shuffling brush nearby. I turned around in time to see Ash emerge from the bushes with a small red and white ball in his hand. He looked annoyed, so I smiled and jumped into the air, streaming golden yellow behind me, and landed on my side in a shrub. Ash stared at me, expression blank, until a grin surfaced. He laughed and laughed, clutching his sides. He stood up and offered me a hand, putting the Pokeball in the other way. I should add that every time they don't steal fan art for an illustration, it's a screenshot with an MS Paint word bubble pasted on it. And in this one, it has a picture of Squirtle saying, I gotta go. And there are double quotes around I, but there is no second double quotes after the exclamation point at the end of the sentence. And this bothers me more than it should. And then the last sentence of chapter 1 is, like I said before, Ash is all right. I hope you enjoyed my reading of the first chapter and the reading of the back of the book of Diary of a Wimpy Pikachu, and I hope you found it as unreasonably funny as I do, or at least snorted out of your nose a couple of times to signify that you found it amusing. The further the story goes on, the further it devolves too, as the author loses track of entire characters and plot threads, which I think makes it better. It really expresses the struggles of the Pikachu, who has no opposable thumb, presumably, and is still writing a diary with no logical explanation as to how or why. But those questions don't matter. What matters is that it's a bad ripoff of two extremely popular franchises with the intention of making a boatload of money, and no care or thought went into the plot or anything. I don't know if I'll read more of this and make another video of the continued terrifying, horrible mess that this book is. It depends on if I feel like it. Anyway, thank you for listening to me read a bad book that I own for like 9 minutes now and tell me how my mic sounds. I'm very new to this.